looking at this, I can say that they will make it extremely hard for you and me to make money in this market, even though we are nearing the end of this drama here. When I say this to you guys, I feel really bad for the majority of you guys here who have invested in XRP and their portfolio they have like 50%, 80% XRP. But understand, this is happening even if XRP is going to your anticipated price, you're going to have that issue taking out your profit. Many of you would be out of this market by then. Those who can see the big picture, which is not that hard to see right now, because as of now, the writing is on the wall. For me, I'm so confident about my investment in XRP as I see news which is coming out right now, and it's kind of the anticipated news which we were looking at. Just you have to work on these. How? See, for me, I'm so confident about the central banks working with Ripple. Why is that? That's where you have to actually look at the current affairs, the recent news, and then look at what happened in the past. Bank of France has highlighted previously they will be considering Ether or XRP platform, and now it turns out that it's more likely to be XRP platform. So that's XRP Ledger. So when they say it's likely to be XRP, that's XRP Ledger, and then we are looking at this stuff, right? Ripple pilots private ledger for central bank digital currencies. Okay, so that's great. Now, when you see these kind of stuff, Ripple piloting, will it be only one central bank? Ripple, the company, has openly stated they are working with 40 to 50 central banks. And after years, they're coming out and saying, okay, now we have been working with central banks, but right now we are piloting for their central bank digital currency. So when you actually had these kind of news before, you do have to understand stuff is being happening. Now, this is payment source and it shows, now this is, remember when I show you this is a year old, but that's how you actually get that right perspective. Ripple gets a role in ISO 20022 standard migration. Now, for those of you who don't know what ISO 20022 means, it's the payment infrastructure. If you go through this, it's the messaging standard where it's interoperable. If I send you a message, it's there. So now you can actually look at this. Widely used financial services organization participating in this include Algorand, Ripple, Fix Protocol, that's Financial Information Exchange, and Swift, Visa, and others. So when you actually look at this, you do have to actually understand these are literally happening in the background. But it's not hidden, right? If you search, if you do your own research, you're kind of able to see this. Now, look at the adoption. In 2015, a report by the United States classified Europe having mature adopters of ISO 20022, India, South Africa, Japan, Singapore, Switzerland as having growing adopters. Now, that is one of the reasons why Ripple, the company, is so high in India, Japan, Singapore. They're working in that region. Now, we do have to go through this stuff to understand what really does these are pointing towards. So when you are looking at these shaping the future, it's not only about bank to bank, business to business, business to customer payments. It's you and me, peer-to-peer payment. So it won't only be one particular infrastructure working as the interoperable layer for the ISO 20022 when you see all these central banks coming out, because the XRP ledger, okay, it's having that power. Then you're going to see how the price moves. But right now, you have a lot of stuff to understand technically. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. Some of our patrons are really happy that they have made this financial decision to enter into an area where they are learning about investing. It's not about being that short-term trader to get all the opportunities in the market, but it's about learning how to do this, because you don't actually have to be here to learn this for years, right? You come here, spend 3, 4, or 6 months depending upon your learning curve, but you then get to understand how to look at the patterns. What does this particular pattern at this particular level mean? right? All those stuff help you to become that investor which you really want to be, not that trader who kind of go against the market, or at least try to make money fighting the bots, the high frequency trading bots. Now this is in particular showing that H bar. We were actually closing to that breakout. As I showed you, RSI looks like a bull flag, MACD bouncing to the upside, and what happened? We actually bounced. So if you're looking at the price, we were going down in this one, but based on the indicators, now we are here in the top. That's what it gives you when you know the chart. So this one is engine, right? So we kind of highlighted enter after the breakout. This is your target, blah blah blah, and then this happened. We kind of came closer to that. So that's why I always give you my strategy. This is the target, and this should be your strategy, because exchanges do have algorithms. So if you're trading there, they know what your target is. They know what pattern you see. So they don't actually want you to make 100% of that money, right? So that's why we have our strategy, which lets you take that profit. Now, it's not only a couple of those assets which we are reaching the target. Say one, that's Harmony. We're reaching there. Then say this one, Uniswap. So we highlighted this to our patrons, showing that, we are targeting 35. We're going to go near to that. And what happened? Yeah, we came close to that. And look at the following candle. It's now correcting. So that's what we anticipate. Why? Now, for you guys, I'll say now it's at resistance. Fine, agreed. But look at the RSI here, the arrow, right? We were going up. Now you broke above. You're retesting that. So if that bounces, that means you're going to get a breakout here in the pattern. So that's a tip for you guys who are watching the Scientific Investor channel. Now, let's actually dig through this, right? Because we just saw that the fundamentals are getting so strong. Here in this particular article, BIS and SWIFT intensify race with crypto for cross-border payment. Now, when they are doing this, now remember, this is the recent news. Why are they actually doing this? Because they understand the crypto asset and the decentralized finance platforms are a huge competitor. Because if they don't continue to do this, the movement is like this, right? By 2025, Swift's global cross-border payment community will fully transition into ISO 20022 as part of Swift enhanced Swift platform. Now, understand this for all your time when you're in the crypto market. By then, 90% of the high-value payment system worldwide will be in this rails. What is Swift? It's a messaging platform. Okay, so how do they settle? They definitely need their money parked in the other end of the world so that they can settle it immediately. So the cost associated with the payment is not going to go down, because when you see them getting, say, this word, crypto as a competition, you do have to understand it's also about the fees about the payment. If you send $1,000, you don't actually want to spend 6 to 8% of that as fee, when you have options to use like below 1%, right? And you get the money instantly. Why would you actually go to a bank when even the fintechs say right now, the partners of Ripple are giving you that ability? So now read this. The 8-day virtual hackathon that starts on March 11, what are they actually looking at? Do understand that they are highlighting this for ISO 20022, and they're doing in that their financial hub. So this is actually here in BIS Innovation Hub, which we went through their documents previously, and it kind of really gives you that idea. Now, Swift has been gradually overhauling its network over the past years. Now, why are they doing this? They haven't been doing anything so far in the last 40 years, but right now they have to. Why? Meanwhile, some industry observers have named GPI as a leading competitor to Ripple, the company behind XRP, in terms of cross-border transaction. Now, remember, they understand Ripple, the company, and XRP ledger as a ledger, using XRP as an ledger asset, is a competitor. Now you're competing with whom? Swift. It's been here for last 40 years and it has like 11,000 financial institutions. And Ripple, the company which just came out a decade ago, within last decade they have developed their base like this. Now let's actually look at the technical and then come back into these so that we understand the technicals right now, what you're going to look at in terms of price, and then move forward. Because this is also recent news which you have to connect with the previous ones, which gives you that idea where we are really headed. Why? Because it really gives you that idea that next couple of months through next year what you're going to look at, because this is going to be the end game day and we are going to see that easily. Why? Already adopted domestically in 70 countries, right? If that's going to be played out like this, Ripple's involvement in that one, you're actually going to see a massive adoption, a flipping point. But yeah, majority won't agree that until they see in the price. But does the price means the value? If it was like that, there is no sense in investing. The only sense in investing means when an asset has huge value and the price is so low, that's where you enter to make profit. Now that's as a value investor, as a long-term investor. If you're a short-term guy looking at, a couple of cents here and there, that's a different story. It's completely different for you. But if you are an investor who's, looking at crypto for the next couple of years or this bull market, cool. And then with that profit, you'll be moving out into different asset classes, the alternative assets, any stuff differently. So the charts, whether it's real estate, whether it's commodities, you can move there, look at the chart and understand where you are in that market cycle and then take the advantage of that. Right now, this is a daily chart, but a zoomed in view. Now, we are kind of looking at last 1 year here. And in that 1 year time frame, we can see the wave or the impulse is to the upside. Wave 1, which was smaller, then a small correction, then another one higher than that, and then a longer correction, and then an even higher pump. So that gives you the idea of the direction of impulse. Now, look at this one. We got a pattern here. In this pattern, RSI is right now at the support. Okay, we are moving to the upside. Yesterday, we highlighted the probability that we would be moving up because we are making that rounded bottom here within the price at that support, right? The moving average is acting as a support there and you're bouncing to the upside. Now, look at the MACD. It's kind of getting towards that level where it is going to cross to the upside. Now, if you actually understand this stuff clearly, look at this particular area where MACD crossed before, right? When the MACD crossed, what happened with the price? It pumped. Now, yeah, it was not fairly a huge pump in terms, but if you're looking at that as a 50% pump, and right now, if you account that in, if you are pricing that in, you're kind of reaching above this particular resistance, which is 0.7 mark. Now, if you manage to do that, that also means that you're going to continue higher. So these are some stuff which you do have to consider. Right now, this is XRP BTC pair on a daily. Now you look at the MACD, it's highlighting you something similar. That it's going to cross to the upside. It's flirting with that particular level where it's waiting for the momentum to come in. So if you see this green candle and then followed by these correction, you can see that the correction came in because the price reached that moving average. Now remember, that's on a daily and the price is going down. If it managed to bounce here, that means we are going to come back above, and at that time the moving average and the trend line resistance would be kind of similar. So if it really wants to break it, it would be really easy to do that. Instead, if you are looking at different time frame, looking at different ideas, it would be a little bit difficult for the price to do that if it has a long range of resistance, because there would be a lot of different. Now, the reality behind that is a lot of people would be looking to sell that or buy that at that particular range because the range is too long. Now, let's actually go into a smaller time frame chart to understand the close-up, right? We'll take all of these indicators out so that you guys understand what literally is happening with XRP. So this was the direction we were moving in. Okay, so what changed? We kind of moved above that. Okay, right now, looking from the bottom, what really is happening? We are moving into this direction, but it's kind of getting a mixed pattern there, right? It's not giving you that clarity. If you want to continue like this, you can understand that this is kind of a head and shoulder pattern which you are giving, but you haven't actually broken to the upside. Now that's on a 4-hour chart. Now if you delete these and go into a 1-hour chart, which is the zoomed in view. Now even if you actually go further in, it's going to be it'll actually give you some idea in terms of the patterns, but the problem would be that it's so zoomed in, the volatility will be too much, and the liquidity, yeah, even though it's on demand liquidity, you won't get that much right now because this is the rate which you are looking at. Now you actually crossed to the upside somewhere here, you came back, retested and pumped. But now measure your pattern and see how much you're actually anticipating. It's 10%. Now plot it here, take it here. You came somewhere near, but you didn't actually manage to reach that target. So that's the short-term view, right? So you understand the risk associated with short-term trading. Now, yeah, you can say crypto market itself is risky. That's why I say don't go into short-term trade, because short-term trading in any asset class is risky. So if you're doing that in the most riskiest asset class, now that's your choice. If you want to make money that way, that's completely up to you. If you have that kind of risk tolerance, that's completely fine. But now let's actually look at the altcoin market and just ask yourself where in the market cycle you are. We highlighted this from last 1 week when the market was kind of dipping down and people were saying, okay, we are going to go to zero. We are going to go to, we are going to have that huge dip coming in. Now look at this particular area and see old videos, say last week. And then ask yourself, did we do something like this? See, we were talking about this all the way from February 18 towards here. And as we were moving through this gradually, I did highlight this to you guys so you know what really is happening there. Right now, if you look at the price, you will understand we bounced to the upside and the close of the candle is moving like this. Now, yeah, this is a 3-day chart. So in order to get the right perspective for you, it would be better to look at this. Now, on a daily chart, you're kind of looking at this stuff where you're kind of breaking above, okay, but you'll see a fake out here, so you need a confirmation of the breakout from here. So if we continue higher, that's going to give you momentum. Now MACD shows me that it's going to cross to the upside. That means it's going to give you that higher momentum. Now how do you actually try to measure that? You can actually do this. That's the maximum and this as the minimum. So if it actually breaks from here, that's 24%. So you can plot it here and then the higher one goes 40%. Now 20 or 40% in altcoin market cap means huge fluctuations coming in the market here. Now right now if you look at the market, you can see majority of them are in green, and that there's a reason, right? You kind of look at the market, you kind of understand the opportunities and you jump into those to get those target. Now it's not only about a couple of assets, there are a lot of different assets in the market, as you can see here, right? If you understand the pattern, then position yourself at the bottom of that pattern, and if you have patience to ride that wave, you're gonna make that. See, Luna, we highlighted that previously, right? In the platinum tier, we posted it before the breakout, and majority I think who are in that are making the profit and they are riding the wave, looking at the targets. Similarly, it's a lot of different assets which we are riding right now in the Patreon, but not everyone will have the patience till the top. That's why we strategize in different manner so that you'll still manage to take your profits out. Now look at the BTC dominance here, because right now that's important. When you are looking at the BTC dominance, I'll say take a weekly or monthly chart, which would give you a better perspective. You can reduce the noise there, because there will be a lot of noise if you're zooming in. And as we discussed, we are going in, trying that moving average and going down, but still you have a pattern which is inverse head and shoulder in the RSI, and usually that's a bullish pattern. So hopefully before it pumps, we can see a small alt season where BTC has room to go around 78% to the downside, where it has horizontal support lying here and the trend line support. So that is a possibility which you can't neglect. But at the same time, looking at the BTC chart, you kind of see BTC can go higher, right? So this is BTC. Now you focus here, you're kind of, if you actually draw this correctly, either you'll get a head and shoulder, inverse head and shoulder, or a cup and handle, depending upon how you view the market. But all of them are reversal pattern. All of them indicates bullishness, right? Now you look at the market, this is what you are looking at. If you get the breakout here at this zone, now that's a tip for you guys in the YouTube, which my patrons are following. You would be pumping all the way towards 60, 63, 65, right? Now that's like $10,000 rise in Bitcoin, because the MACD is pointing you towards that direction, that it can increase in such a manner. And that's not a huge deal, because we are still inside that pattern, right? If you look at this, we plotted this when we are here. Right now the price came back and give you that confirmation that we are still continuing to respect this particular level as a resistance. So as the price moved to the upside, It's way better to be patient in the market and ride this and make that profit. Why? Right now we crossed the $1.5 trillion mark in crypto market cap. Attention is coming into the crypto market and you are viewing that in the price. The price is pumping, your portfolio will be moving. Just the return on your investments will be based on the selection of your asset, because we have a lot of different assets and you don't know which one is going to pump first and which one is going to reach first. Even if you know this particular asset is going to go 100% and that's going to go 500%, you don't know which one will happen first. What if the 100% happens first and afterwards the 500 starts? So that's an opportunity to think about, right? And that's what we try to give as a perspective in Patreon. If you have 5 to 8 assets, that's fine. Have you make the most out of it? Once you get the target in one, then you move out. See, recently, when I was looking back last couple of weeks, we are seeing a lot of targets being fulfilled or reaching towards that target. Now, this is one of the reasons you need to look at different patterns and understand about different assets. Guys, we will jump here and see this one because this is really important, right? Industry globalization. So what industry they are talking about? It's the financial industry, it's the payments, it's the protocol, it's the technology. So the experts do understand this is here. The Internet of Things, machine-to-machine payments, everything is coming out, and ISO 20022 is critical in achieving this. And that's why when we see stuff like this, Ripple's involvement in that, it really means something. Why? Because when you read articles which support Swift, you won't get that actual point. But when you come here and read this, you will understand a central authority or a middleman like Swift. So they all do understand DLT technology gives you that advantage. Now, Ripple is the company they are highlighting. DLT or the ledger which they are talking about, we understand now that it's XRP ledger. Okay, fine. In XRP ledger, it's not just the software. They're using that XRP ledger and settlement in that ledger. The native asset is XRP. Those who don't understand have to keep that in mind. When they say no one is going to use XRP, you do have to consider these stuff. So when you are looking at the widespread adoption of this stuff, it's coming closer. We are near and the end game is coming soon. Guys, if you received value for your time here in the Scientific Investor channel, please do support the channel, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done that already. Now, if you'd like to get these updates as technicals which I showed you, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.